Hey there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to the channel. Today on Tundra Tactical, we bring the heat back with a vengeance and tell you why you shouldn't bother getting into long-range shooting. So don't forget to drop the video a like, stay tuned, thanks for watching, and let's start the show. There exists a certain subsection in the firearms community that takes itself so seriously, it has completely abandoned the entire notion of shooting beer cans off of a post at 20 yards like a normal human being, and have instead installed pocket protectors and incorporated math, for whatever reason, into their daily lives.
Stop it. Get some help.
These complete nerds are the long-range precision rifle community, and I am here to save you from becoming one of them. You're welcome. Now, if you are already a long-range shooter and have come to this video out of morbid curiosity as to why you should be shunned at all costs, I would just like to say, what's up, guy with no friends? For the rest of you, prepare to feel a sense of validation for not dropping at least $3 grand on a rifle chambered in 6mm Dasher. Now, before we get into the really spicy stuff, I want to say a thanks to this week's sponsor, Tundra Industries. You may be asking yourself right about now, well, who the heck is that? You may have heard of some of their brands before, maybe Old Faithful holsters, I bet you heard of Alien Gear holsters, and Bigfoot gun belts. After you watch this video and realize that long-range shooting is a worthless pursuit, leading to homelessness, divorce, and an eventual life of crime, you are going to want to get a handgun to make yourself feel better.
All right, I'm gonna go cry.
Once you get that handgun, then BAM! You got your holster. And well, you're gonna need something to hang it on, so BAM! There's your new gun belt as well. Thanks Tundra Industries for being this week's video sponsor, and Tundra Nation, make sure to check them out today. Alright guys, bring it in. Let's get real here. Just take a knee for a second. There are two reasons why somebody would want to get into long-range shooting. The first is because they were a total kiss-ass in high school and actually believed their trigonometry teacher when they said that they're going to use this kind of advanced math in everyday life. Nerd! In an attempt to ensure their teacher was right, they decided that hitting targets so far away they needed to consider the Earth's spin was the way to go. And this is dumb because, let's be honest here folks, while you might not want to admit it, deep down inside, we all know that the Earth is flat and has a hard candy shell that protects us from all the other spherical shapes in the galaxy, known as, literally, everything else in space. The second reason you might be interested in long-range shooting is because, well, you hate money in your bank account and will do whatever it takes to ensure that you have as much unsecured debt tied up into a single rifle and all of the other unnecessary equipment used to ping steel beyond 1,000 yards. When most people get a piece of mail stating that they're pre-approved for a new credit card, well, we take that as the bank telling us to throw their garbage away for them. When a long-range shooter gets this kind of junk mail, they take it as a sign from whatever god that they pray to that it's finally time to spend $400 on an anemometer. Believe it or not, I got that on the first take. If you don't know, an anemometer tells you how fast the wind is blowing and from what direction. This can be done equally well by tying your dirty undies to a stick and holding them in the air for all to see. But there's no way of explaining this to a man that is hell-bent on spending money he doesn't have. These people will literally load a gun into the back of a truck that's worth less than the rifle without seeing any real problems.
Because you freaking fricks just can't ever be quenched. Your fantasies can't ever be quenched, can they?
For those of us who realize that we're poor, we at least have the intelligence to understand that fact, and it's probably not wise to take out a third mortgage on our trailer home to buy brass that's only available from this one guy who lives in his mom's basement over there in Colorado that creates Wildcat cartridges from unicorn poop. Now that we've covered the differences from a financial perspective, we're gonna circle back around to the whole math thing. Remember when you struggled with word problems in middle school while your mom was too busy naked wrestling with new dad to explain to you why they had to start adding letters to math?
Yes, definitely.
My guess is that not much has changed since then. So unless you're prepared to start determining how that Coriolis effect is going to factor into the trajectory of your shot when shooting a 124 grain projectile from a 24-inch barrel, while you're shooting at a target with an elevation of 17 meters less than your own at 1,200 yards, let's not forget that left to right wind gusting at 13 knots when you're in the northern hemisphere, hell, you should probably just go grab your new dad a beer and hope that you've saved up enough good boy points for a plate of tendies. Everybody loves tendies. Unless you're a communist. If for some reason you think you can overcome your mental handicap, and figure out the math, and you have a few thousand extra dollars of real actual money that you can think of literally nothing else to spend it on, let me tell you why the long-range community will absolutely wreck your shit the moment you show up to a match, thinking you're about to learn something cool and make some new friends. If you think the tactical community is full of tryhards and gatekeepers, you haven't seen anything yet.
And look at Randy Orton slithering. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
I dare you to buy a scope with adjustments in MOA instead of mils. First off, bud, you just gave yourself a whole new set of math problems to figure out because literally every piece of information you have is in metric and now you need to convert it all just to dial in your elevation. And with that one single mistake, you now just became the dumbest guy at the match.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Look to your left, look to your right now. Come on. Everybody around you is thinking, he's so stupid, his head whistles in a crosswind. That actually might be a useful measurement tool. Let's say you did get a scope that adjusts in mils. Is that scope twice as expensive as the rifle that you mounted it on? If not, it's going to be pointed out to you that you are an idiot and not worthy of trying to hit targets far away. This will be regardless of the actual retail cost of any piece of equipment that you own. Do you load your own ammo? Oh boy, I sure hope you do. Otherwise, well, you're just too casual to have any idea where your bullets are actually going to land due to your lack of absolute commitment to the sport of long-range precision shooting. Did you build your rifle or buy it off the shelf? Haha, trick question. The long-range gurus say that you're wrong on both counts. What you should have done here is paid somebody who lives in a smoky room in the back of a privately owned gun shop who has a single-syllable name like Ted, Ralph, or Frank. Now, this man will have no last name that anyone's aware of because he hasn't left his lair in over a decade and has no real use for a surname. You also need to forget about all of the calibers that you can buy at a regular store like .308 or .30-06 because serious long-range shooters, well, they only shoot those mysterious Wildcat cartridges that you've never heard of. Anything short of complete immersion and basing your self-identity around shooting at long distances will label you as a stupid idiot who keeps showing up to matches. Nobody at these matches is going to be willing to talk to you or learn your name because they're all hoping that you're basically just going to give up and leave. It's really a cult, and they've decided that the current body of members are the only ones worthy of salvation, and they're not going to be willing to let anyone else join until a current member dies or gets married, which is basically the same thing to them. Now, all right, guys, after listening to this spiel on why you shouldn't invest any time, effort, or money into the long-range shooting skill or community, you might think that we were paid off by the aforementioned groups to drive people away using the two life skills we currently possess, our snark and sarcasm.
That is correct.
I can tell you with literally zero certainty that the information in this video is accurate and should be taken as community dogma from this point forward. Here's the issue though. We unfortunately know our audience, and we know that most of you are the kind of people who will stop off to buy condoms on the way to a family reunion.
What? Jesus! That was brutal.
If that joke was too subtle for you, then you just proved my point. You are an idiot. And because of this, you're going to decide to ignore our advice and learn things the hard way. And you know what? Honestly, good for you, buddy. The world needs idiots to make the average Joes seem a lot smarter than they really are.
Depression? Isn't that just a fancy word for feeling bummed out?
Dwight, you ignorant slut.
If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and check out these two cripplers right here. And don't forget to join us next week when we still don't know what the fuck we're doing.